just gone round and it's my first bite for a while because we've just had a thunderstorm and I've had to get off my box and go and hide under my brolly. But what I would like to say is I'm using a 9-foot rod today, a Match Plus FX rod, and what I'm doing is I've found myself on a peg where I've got trees overhanging and I've got line hanging off the tree and I've got feeders dangling down as well, and I'm trying to get under it. And what I'm trying to do is I want to show you, oh, that's a lovely fish, I want to show you how to cast under a tree. So first of all, let's get this little baby in the net. This one comes to a 6mm pellet. Right, so we'll try 6mm pellet again on a little microband. Size 18 hook, 14-20. Eyed barbless, lovely little hook for this job. Right, what I've been doing is I've been using a micro pellet base. Then in my ground bait and pellet mix, which I use for the top, just been putting it in the mould. Turn her over, job done, look at that, beautiful. So the cast, what I'm doing is I've got the feeder from about 2 foot from the rod tip. Now what this enables me to do is to be able to flick it under the tree and get it to, I don't know, about 12 inches from the far bank. So let's have a go. There you go, look at that, perfect. So that's landed. I've got a sign already. Now, also what I'm doing, I'm swapping and changing on the hook baits. When I first came here this morning, I was catching on a 6mm pellet, and it was just unbelievable. It doesn't matter almost where it went in the water. It was rod was being ripped off the rest. Lovely fishing, but the fish have become aware of that now, and nearly. And I've been swapping and changing with like little 6mm dumbbells, and had quite a few fish on a red one to start with. Then when they were aware of that, I then changed to a yellow and had 4 or 5 carp on that. The type of fish we're fishing for in this lake are F1s and carp basically. F1s go to about 5 or 6 pound, and the carp are double figures. Not all of them are, but they go to double figures. So we've just had a great cast there. We've put it fairly close to the far bank. Tips dancing around like mad. But what I would like to stress is that just because we've had a good cast, there's no point in leaving it there for more than 2 or 3 minutes. There's just no point at all, because that food's been broken down. The bait is now out of the feeder. It's now not really lying by the feeder. It's lying by the feeder, but it's not in the feeder like it was. And we'll give it a minute or 2 more. And if it doesn't go round, then we'll just wind it in and recast. So I'll show you again about how important it is with the rod about 2 foot from the feeder. Right, let's wander in. There's quite a lot of debris under the tree. I've just wound some debris in there. Okay, so sticking with the same bait, 6mm pellet, micros first of all, and I'm using my actual ground bait mix is bag on commercial carp with some 2mm pellets, 50-50. It's a ground bait that I've been using this year. It's absolutely fantastic. I can use it for anything. So I've picked my spot, quick cast. Look at that. Tip's already started to move. I might have to change the bait. Oh, it's gone. Okay, so what it's doing is it's going through the pads. We have to keep a tight line, but just keep you cool, you know, because what happens is you will rip the pads off, and if you try really pulling the fish hard, you'll end up just snapping your hook length or ripping the fish's mouth. We don't want to do that. So this will be a little F1. Nice action on the rod, as you can probably see. And what you can do as well when you're fishing with these soft rods, you can wind the fish right under the rod, and the rod keeps bending, and also you can use a shorter landing net handle. So you're not waving a 4-foot landing net handle around. You can use a 3 foot. Sorry, not foot, I mean metre. 3 metre, right. So we've caught that on that. Let's have a go on let's have a change of bait. We'll put a red dumbbell on. So once again, on a little microband, which has really changed my fishing. I used to be a fan of lassos. No, not anymore. These little microbands have come out. They're fantastic. They're in 3 different colours. So we've got a clear one, a sort of a dark brown one, and a red one. And I use them all, to be honest with you. They're really, really good. You can put a maggot in one, and then you can take it off, and you can put an 11mm pellet in one. They're so versatile. So here's the cast then. Okay, feeder's 2 foot from the rod tip, and we're just going to flick it. There you go. Under the trees, not catching any line, not catching the waggler, and the tip's dancing already. Changed the hook bait, remember, this time, so the little red dumbbell worked wonders earlier. It's important to keep changing all the time. Nearly. And I'm fishing with a little inline method feeder, which this time of year now, we're a week away from autumn, so we're starting to use more and more inline. Well, I do, and I think you should be as well, because the fish can't feel the weight of the feeder. They're just pulling the line, not even realising that they're hooked. And our little method feeders are in line. Nice little moulds and that come with them. Here we go. Come on. Like I say, every single cast that I've had today, I've had liners or a fish or some sort of action on the tip. It's been brilliant. Just wish the weather was. So once again, it's gone out there. It's a perfect spot. It hasn't gone round. Give it a minute, and we might have to take that little red dumbbell off. I'm not being impatient, but I just think that you have to keep casting all the time. Keep trying to trick these fish, because these little F1s and that are so cute. It's almost like you've got no bait on your feeder left, and yet your rod tip's still dancing around, because you're getting liners and the fish are picking up the bait from around your feeder. But you have to remember that it's no longer on your feeder. I think we'll go back to a 6mm pellet. Okay, so little bander. Sliding method. First of all, I like to put it on with my hand. I just like it really, really hard on the feeder first, the first coating, and then the second coating I always put the pellet in like that. Give it a squeeze, really tight squeeze, turn it over, pop it out, there we go. Squeeze it again in your hand, 2 foot below the rod tip, because we're going for the flick. I'm looking at where I'm casting. Lovely. So the rod's been on the rest for about 5 seconds and the tip's already had a dance. With a bit of luck, the 6mm pellet will catch me a fish this time. Here we go, here we go. He's on, he's on. Oh no, he's not. I can't believe that. That was on all day long, that was. You won't get away with it next time. Two foot from the tip and a little flick. Okay, bait's in the water. Tip's moving. 4 or 5 seconds it's moving. When I came here first thing earlier this morning, I'd already got a fish on by now. This is how the pegs changed. Whether they've just got used to the feeder going in, or whether that thunderstorm we just had about 20 minutes ago made a big difference, I'm not sure, but we're in. Got the little left one, I would think. But that's the beauty of these little rods, you know. This rod's bent double. It's probably a £2 F1. Lovely action. You can wind it right under your rod tip. It's not going to pull out. Have your clutch set properly. You've got your short landing net handle. Listen to that clutch. It's doing its job. There we go. Well, the £2 F1. An inline method feeder, 6mm pellet. He's beautiful.